is he?
Zeng, can you find him?
He is in time.
What? We need him now!
He is the one responsible.
Melinda!
From the man who brought us to a lab belonging to a boy genius and had to deal with his oblivious sister who pranced around like a ballerina, brought us to a galaxy far, far away, showed us 3 aliens looking for a better life on Earth while escaping and battling their captors with a giant robot, a lone Ronin on a mission to rid the world of evil, and even a prehistoric world with a man and his dinosaur companion just trying to survive. That man is, of course, Genndy Tartakovsky. He brings us to a world where magic exists along with technology, and eternal souls are destined to battle against an evil entity with his latest offering, Unicorn Warriors Eternal. The 2-part premiere episode introduces us to 4 warriors battling a mystical ether dragon in ancient Egypt. This is only a setup, as it truly delves into the heart of the matter, and that they are tasked to fight this ancient evil throughout time with the help of Merlin. Well, from the way the character is introduced, he's not much of a savory person. He's certainly not the same man portrayed in King Arthur's tales.
Merlin, you have succeeded, as I knew you would.
You cold-hearted fool! It almost cost Melinda her life.
But it did not.
But he does bring along an automaton by the name of Copernicus. Its mission is to gather various warriors throughout time and battle this ancient evil in their respective time periods. This setup is quite effective for several reasons. First of all, it quickly establishes the motive for these characters to battle this said evil. As they are chosen by Copernicus, we see that they all have something in common. All of them were warriors. Most importantly, it establishes the direction in which the story is going to go. We are given a reason for their mission, the relationship between these 4 souls, and the implementation of said mission being carried out, all in the span of 5 minutes or so. No narration, just the characters in action. Not only it's a level of mastery you can't really teach when it comes to storytelling, but also says something about Genndy's prowess in animation that has fully blossomed to this very point. He has always been skilled at this, but here you can see how masterful his formula has gotten. With all those elements of the intro established, we are taken to 19th century London, but this isn't the same London that has been documented in history books. Here we have a London that has benefited from steam technology. Yes, this is a steampunk utopia, but the true focus is set on a young girl by the name of Emma, on her wedding day about to get married to the love of her life. The scene was so endearing due to the parents themselves, particularly the father, who was quite overjoyed to see his daughter getting married. Everything is well as she arrives and she's at the altar with her soon-to-be husband, Winston. You just see the love in their eyes. Just from these 2 scenes, you have a feeling that this isn't going to be what it is, a happy moment. Lo and behold, we see Copernicus arrive at the wedding.
Winston!
What in blazes?
Once again, due to the intro, you just know why it's there, but for whom? It did leave me on the fence on who it could be. So when his beam goes straight for Emma, it leaves an element of surprise. Mind you, Copernicus gathered warriors for these souls to reawaken in. It establishes that their souls can be inhabited inside any person. All I have to say about the scene is poor Winston. Sorry. Just the way these scenes flow from one to the next was absolutely wonderful. You always grasp the severity of every situation presented on screen. Nothing is ever left on the table. With the first half establishing everything the audience needed to know, we see Emma, who is now known as Melinda, and Copernicus go off to find the rest of the souls to reawaken. Which being Alfie, a boy inhabiting an abandoned boys' academy with his mates. We see that this academy has ties to Emma's past. And Edred, whose soul inhabits the body of Dynamo Dimitri, a street magician. These new vessels also have one thing in common. They are not warriors, but regular people from all walks of life that are thrust into a responsibility that they are fully expected to be fulfilled upon being reawakened. Except with Emma, who is quite conflicted about her role in the entire scheme of things. Her character stands out due to her reaction to everything going on around her. She had a life and a future that is upended entirely by a magical robot. It's presented in a very realistic way that makes the viewer gravitate towards her. As for the animation itself, it's a very different approach for Genndy and his team. This is due to Stephen D. Stefano, once again returning to do the character designs after his marvelous Pope-style animations of Primal. Here, he steps it up a notch as it seems that he combines the art style of traditional 1940s golden era animation, 1950s anime, and the works of Osamu Tezuka, who of course created Astro Boy. In fact, during the end credits, they make sure the viewers see their art on full display. Quite the nice touch. A minor gripe would be that the characters looked very inconsistent to one another. Despite it being noticeable, that's all it is, a minor gripe. The backgrounds stand out the most. They were quite colorful and looked very atmospheric. Just the beauty of hand-drawn animation that can't fully be duplicated in CG. Despite the episode uses some degree of CG, as with most anime series these days. The series also brings back longtime collaborator of Genndy Tartakovsky, Tyler Bates, along with Joanne Higginbottom, who helped him with the score for Primal. They compose a score that greatly drives the action in every scene, but also quite somber when it needs to be. In other words, if you love the score in Primal, this one looks to be just as great judging from these two episodes. It just goes beyond what Western TV animation usually does. Some instances, it sounded just like a score from a film. Such a great score. Unicorn Warriors Eternal does what it sets out to do, and it's due in part of the setup of the intro. This is not only textbook story setup, but speaks volumes on why a great setup can hook the audience easily and effectively, if done with care. From the reawakening of these four souls to fighting ancient evil throughout time, to the contrast of the dynamic of the characters at the beginning of the episode to the end of it, you get the sense of the story and their mission clearly. But the highlight of the episode was Emma's struggle to accept the destiny that is thrusted upon her. Her coming with the grips of that is the heart of the story. And by the end of the episode, and when this ancient evil arrives, we see that she is forced to come to terms in a way that has her paying the ultimate price for not doing it sooner. I presume that the series will delve more into the background of the other characters as well, but if it's any indication of the way her character was so well fleshed out, this will be something special to look forward to. The episode did leave one thing to touch upon. Who is this mystery lady behind the scenes? What does she have to do with everything? In all, Unicorn Warriors Eternal left me wanting more in a great way. It has me looking forward to the rest of the series. Once again, Genndy Tartakovsky manages to bring viewers another masterpiece for us to watch. Now, will it become as great as Samurai Jack and Primal? Only time will tell, but for now, let's just say that it doesn't disappoint in the slightest. Poor Winston.